if you can get yourself the training jacket from Rocky 4, dude, definitely do that. That's authentic to
You'll
every
increase muscle by 50%.
at least. Welcome back to the Men's Adventure Fiction Podcast. We are back with the now famous, world-known, YouTube viral legend of all time, LS Goodish. Dude, I know we want to get right into the topic these days, but let's start with talking about this. You had a YouTube video go absolutely viral. You're probably like 3/4 of the way to 1 million views. How you feeling? You want to tell the...
Super weird. Like, well, that's what I've said kind of with the Yukon Cornelius thing. It has nothing to do with me and or my skills or anything like that. It was just a blessing from the algorithm. Because I've been making videos there for 6 years or something like that. And then for some reason, YouTube was like, yeah, we'll show that one to everybody for some reason.
That's crazy, dude.
And yeah, I went from like 3,000 followers on there to 20,000 something this morning. It's like, what? How's that?
That's nuts, dude.
So... It's wild, and I said this on Terrence's show, the Suit Up podcast that will come out later.
Cool.
But basically, if you're someone who's like really invested in trying to like blow up on the internet, don't take it as any like great thing in me or any lack in you. It's literally the most random thing. So as long as you keep showing up, maybe one day YouTube will just give you the old blessing here. But it was cool. I don't know.
YouTube will throw you a bone every once in a while.
So random, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a great video. It talks about kind of the idea of persistence, determination, working hard, and not taking the easy way out. So check it out. We'll link it below. I imagine if you subscribe to the Men's Adventure Fiction Podcast, you're also probably subscribed to your personal YouTube. But who knows? I don't know. But I'm excited to be here with you again this morning. This is going to be a fun episode, and it's actually, I think, the beginning of a series. So you want to lay it on them? Tell them what's going on.
Dude. Let me lay out your
Sense
words.
of Adventure Part 2.
Yeah. Just kidding. We're going to talk about more smells. No, this is another one that's your idea, though, of like, let's talk about the different fashion, different style in men's adventure fiction, but from breaking it down season to season, which is such a good idea because, man, does fashion and style change? I mean, if you're walking around like you're dressed now in summer, you're going to be miserable. Like
I'll be dead.
And also, like, the colors change. You know what I mean? In summer, you want those Miami Vice, bright reds and stuff like that. And now it's more muted colors and things like that. So it's an interesting... I like this topic. I like this idea of breaking it down. And for those people who are like, well, isn't this Men's Adventure Fiction podcast? What are we doing talking about fashion? One of the best things we always talk about with fiction and men's adventure fiction is it provides these ideals and these great things to live up to and aspire to and better yourself. Yeah. One of those things is with what's in our control is we can become more fit. We can become better dressed. You know, I can groom my hair better. These things are in our control, and a great place for inspiration to pull from is definitely men's adventure fiction.
For sure.
So yeah, I'm excited to get into this. Do you want to start us off? Do you want me to start us off? How you want to get us rolling?
Yeah, I can start off. This is also cool too, because to your point of style and colors changing too, depending on if you're an everyday carry guy, a concealed carry guy, that changes too with the seasons, or right. Can. You know, you can carry, if I'm wearing a big old pea coat or something in the winter, I can carry like any gun imaginable. You know, I think it's in
Desert Eagle. Just
do you have the Desert Eagle in there, or in maybe one of the diehards? They've got on big suits, and underneath them they have actual like big old machine pistols that are like this big. You know, like you could do anything you want with clothing in the winter. In the summer, though, when you're wearing shorts and a tank top, dude, where are you gonna hide that gun? What are you gonna do? Like, how are you gonna carry a knife, a pocket knife, all this stuff? But I'll digress. We can jump right into the style of winter. So for me, the quintessential movie for winter style of all time is going to be Guns N' Navarone. You probably saw
Great.
this
I
one
do.
coming. We talk about it all the time, but I wanted to hit on it because I think it's just perfect for the adventurer style as well as kind of like the high class style. So the movie starts with us meeting Mallory, who is a special operations guy. He's like a secret agent. He goes in, it seems like, and helps already set up resistance groups to fight against the Nazis. Super cool character to start with, but he gets pulled in and he's wearing this awesome, it's kind of like off-white. It's a step between off-white and a khaki suit. And he's got the tie and he looks sharp as can be. And they're like, dude, you're one of the greatest rock climbers in the world. We need your help on a special mission. And he's like, I don't know about this. This is going to be tough. So starting out, he just looks fantastic. And he says something offhandedly. He's like, I sure wish I had Stavros. And they said he's actually waiting for you at the hotel. He goes over to the hotel, and Stavros is there in a fantastic seersucker suit. I think it was Not Evil Matt who helped me out like 5 or 6 weeks ago when I could not remember the word seersucker, and he commented on
I've never
one
even
of the
heard that
podcast
word.
episodes. Yeah,
That's
seersucker is
interesting.
like, yeah, it's a summer weight suit. Like
Okay.
it kind of is puckered and it's usually striped, so it's really really comfortable and really nice. And this movie is so interesting to me because I say perfect wintertime style, but we're starting out with kind of summery clothes that these guys are wearing. You got the sort of like linen-ish khaki suit, and then you got the seersucker suit from Stavros. But then we go into the actual mission, and this is where it gets just fantastic, dude. You got pea coats, you got turtlenecks, you have big sweaters, you have Stavros has one of those vests that's like partial fur lined, but it's like
Yeah.
not in like a modern way. It literally looks like he just ripped that off of a
Yeah. Just
deer or a
slap it on
yak or
there, dude.
something, and then like very roughly sewed it together and tossed it on. And one of my favorite pieces, which we'll talk about a little more during my next one, but I love the usage of a vest. It doesn't have to necessarily be like a big fur-lined vest. It could be something like the puffer vests that we have today, or I have a really nice Carhartt vest that fits the bill. But I've been really loving like a cardigan vest. But I'll hold off on
Yeah.
that because we'll dive into that with my second one.
Did the
But
rolled
I just
beanie too for the headwear in that movie?
dude, the headwear in
That's very
general is
stylish.
just fantastic. I love the rolled beanie. They even have the Greek fisherman hats.
Right.
So I think that movie just superb in the style department. I don't know if you have anything you want to add on it, but I could
Yeah,
talk about
I
that
mean,
movie all
dude, the
day.
Greek fisherman hat is a good place to start here with the
Yeah,
conversation
dude.
point that I'd like to make. That a lot of these fashion conversation style, a lot of dudes are very like hesitant to it. They don't want to stick out too much, or they're, if you go from not dressing nice to wearing something, they're afraid they're going to get comments from people or something like that. Like, what are you wearing?
Yeah.
And we definitely, I know you and I still feel that too in certain things. Like the Greek fisherman hat is almost a bridge too far for us.
Yeah, dude.
But it's like, dude, ultimately, this is my life and I want to wear that hat. So I'm going to wear that hat. And it was so
Right.
funny. Like you said, without us correlating or anything yesterday, we both decided to wear basically outfits that would be in Guns N' Navarone. Like our
Yeah, dude.
winter
It's too
fashion
good.
really navigates towards this. And it's a great place to find, a bridge between like the high class, I'm dressed really nice all of a sudden, and just
Yeah.
normal rugged clothing. Is like the Alistair McLean films in general have like a really cool, rugged adventure meets high class style. I think you mentioned that earlier, and
Right.
it's a cool thing that I didn't necessarily knew existed for a bit in my life because I started with style and fashion in high school, and a lot of what was popular at the time was like the preppy like frat guy stuff and
Hmm.
or Ryan Gosling movies. And so it's like I was I was like wearing a lot of like button ups and suits and stuff like that. So it was all classier, but I didn't have anything that I could like go out in the woods with and still look good,
Right.
Then I had to
Right.
suddenly look not good. And so it's really cool to be able to blend the worlds, and you do like a really great job of it. Your
Thanks,
Instagram
dude.
is the perfect place to go get inspiration
Thanks, man.
for fashion. And I definitely take inspiration from your Instagram all the time, and I'm like, what do I need to wear today? Let me look up. Piedmonticus over here, Piedmonticus, and
That's too funny.
scroll through your Instagram and get some outfit ideas because you do a great job of blending. I want to stay classy. I want to show that I know what style is, but I also want to be able to like go through the woods and have a rough and tumble day and
Right.
climb a mountain and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
a
dude.
perfect movie.
I think that that's also a good point that you bring up. Like you said, the preppy, like wearing suits and stuff. It's so easy to get kind of locked into like, oh, when I go on an adventure and I'm in the woods, I have to wear like super rugged stuff. I can't look sharp at all. But
Yeah,
you got to think there's some of the wildest photos of all time are the dude like the
yeah.
original alpinists. Those guys are up there and they're wearing like
A tweed.
fedoras and they're wearing tweed suits and they got big old chunky ties on and they're wearing like the weirdest hiking boots of all time that are basically just they're leather soled dress shoes and
Yeah,
leather soled shoes are so tough to do anything with because they're so slippery, but that's how it was for years. So I'm not saying
true.
like there's this one Instagram account that'll always end up popping up on my feed and it's like POV, you're going on a hike but it's 1940 and then the dude is like fully committed to the time accurate clothing. It's like, no, you don't need to do that. Wear a pair of like heavy duty combat boots that they make today that have Vibram soles. But also, dude, there is something special about throwing on a tweed jacket and a tie when you're going through the woods because it really makes you feel like you're in some sort of like the gentleman TV show, where they're hiking in their
Right.
tweeds hunting on the fox hunt, dude, which is another fantastic example for men's style in the wintertime. So I,
Definitely.
I I think about that all the time, and that's the one really cool thing about going to Goodwill or going to Salvation Army or any of these thrift stores that are around is you can get a suit there, and it could be you could look for those heavier weights, like you said, a tweed, something like that. If you can find a tweed suit at Goodwill, you may want to just keep that bad boy because finding tweed suits entirely like a full suit, I don't think I've ever done that. That would be so super
Yeah.
sick. But get a nice like rough and tumble tweed jacket or something like the jacket Bond was wearing at the end of Skyfall, which
Mm, yeah, yeah.
is like kind of the waxed
It's like a
canvas, I
hunting
think it
vest,
was.
or like a
Yeah,
hunting
dude.
jacket almost.
Exactly, and get a nice pair of high-waisted trousers and put on just like a safari shirt and toss a tie on there, dude. And you're gonna be wandering through those woods looking like an absolute stud, and it'll increase the kind of like the adventure feel of it. Because you could go
Hmm.
through the woods dressed like however you feel and it can feel cool in a certain way, but you can also add that kind of like, oh, now I feel like I'm about to infiltrate Nazi Germany as a Greek fisherman,
Right.
like you can add that sort of vibe to your feeling. And like Luke said earlier with the Greek fisherman hat, like it's my life. If I want to wear this, I'm going to go for it. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
point he brings up too is sometimes you can feel like you're putting on a costume, and you never want to you never want to feel that way. You want to be authentic, but
It's a big point.
it's
Yeah.
it's learning the different things that you feel comfortable with, and then going for it. But yeah, I mean I can't talk about Guns and Everyone enough, dude.
Dude, I
So
know.
so
That could
sick.
be a whole episode of itself.
It
We
could
probably
be.
will have to do an episode for
Yeah,
Alistair McLean and that.
yeah,
But
dude, for sure.
a great point about that is like giving yourself the courage to commit to it for a little bit is important
Yeah,
because the cowboy hat for me was one that I was like, I cannot wear that. I'm not a cowboy. What are you talking about? So then, I start wearing it and now it's like, it feels as comfortable as it could possibly get, you know,
yeah.
and no issues. Same with the flat cap. I saw you wearing that. And I was like, I really want to wear that, but I just don't know if I can pull it off. It looks sick. Wear it. Now it's as comfortable as a regular hat. So maybe the Greek fisherman hat will feel like that one day, you know? You
Well,
just have
dude,
to give yourself the courage.
that's the other thing too. The like whole iron sharpens iron kind of concept
Yeah.
is every time I wear the Greek fisherman hat, I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? The one time I
What have you
rolled
done
over
to
to my
yourself?
it was like a family party and I had it on and I like rolled up and I'm wearing I'm like, dude, what am I doing? This I look like the ultimate Halloween costume right now. And I feel like a goofball. But then dude, you sent me a Snapchat yesterday of you smoking a cigar wearing the Greek fisherman hat and I was like, bro, that looks so sick. It looks cool. It looks
Right.
totally authentic. It doesn't look like costumey or goofy at all. And I think that that's the kind of thing that you don't realizes that from the inside, you could be looking at yourself and you're like, man, the only person who wears a Greek fisherman hat is like today is George R. R. Martin, right? Like I don't want to look like that guy. Everyone's gonna think that I'm never gonna finish my manuscript. um, but everybody else is like, I feel like I've seen this guy in the action movies before. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
like they don't even think about it at all. I think that that's the important thing that we remember is like people think about us a lot less than we think they do.
Yeah,
You know,
much less. They don't
um,
care.
so that's always a freeing thing. And dude, Ponga Jim wore something similar to a Greek fisherman hat. We got all these dudes in these shows or these fantastic stories we like wearing them. So maybe it isn't a bridge too far. But the same thing with the flat cap, dude. Every time I see you wear a flat cap, I'm like, man, that's a good looking hat. I gotta
Yeah,
get the flat
gotta
cap
pull
back
that
going.
back out.
So that's what's cool is like having a friend who's doing this sort of thing, who's interested in up in their adventurer style. You love it. Gotta love it.
Gotta love
So
it, dude. Before I get into my guy, which
yeah,
will bring us to a conversation on like outerwear in general, I have to point out with the video that you were talking about in the beginning that I posted that how iconic is Indiana Jones's brown leather jacket that
yeah,
you
dude.
physically cannot wear one of those without everybody thinking you are cosplaying actively as Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
So props to that
too
guy and
funny.
that franchise for that. I mean, same thing's happening at Pulp Fest. You know, if you wear that, it's like, oh, you're Indiana Jones. It's like, no, it's
India.
just like I really like the brown leather jacket. I think it's sick. But
Too
dude, that
funny.
is so funny that it is so iconically a piece of outwear from Indiana
Yeah.
Jones that you cannot wear that without it being
One of
Indiana
my
Jones.
I can't remember one of the comments was like Professor Indiana Jones or therapist Indiana Jones was not on my bingo card for this year or something like that. They were
Right.
going crazy with the
They
comments,
also
dude.
think I
Too
look like
funny.
Henry Cavill over there, which is funny because
Which
I
is
don't
sick,
look
dude.
like him at all.
Because I can see it, dude. I definitely can see it.
Well,
Which
moving on to my guy, the outerwear king, in my opinion,
oh
is
yeah.
Robert Redford, dude. If you
Yeah, dude,
guys need
fantastic.
style inspiration ever for the winter, look up Robert Redford. And off the top of my head, 3 Days of Condor has some of the sickest winter outfits
Yeah,
you'll
dude.
see. He's got a nice use of the pea coat and a layered like pea coat over a tweed type blazer
Yeah,
situation
dude. For
while
sure.
keeping it casual enough for the modern workplace and modern life where he has
Right.
like jeans and sneakers on, but this
Yeah,
outfit
and
as
I think
well.
he has hiking boots too at one point, and
Yeah,
that's fantastic, dude.
great, great casual looks in that movie. I just watched Downhill Racer with him, and it's got another just fantastic jacket. It's like a
Yeah.
tan, and it's got like the fur coming out of it. And it has like a three lines of the
Ooh,
fur as it goes down. It's so
that's
so
really cool.
sick looking. And again, wearing it with jeans and like just button up with a sweater over top of it. He
Hmm.
keeps it casual, but he's so good at layering and so good at wearing iconic jackets, and that's
Yeah.
something that I've taken into my own like style philosophy, I guess, is how important layering is and how important jackets are. And when
Yeah,
you
dude.
brought up Goodwill, every time I'm at Goodwill, it's like the number one thing I'm looking for is a different kind of jacket I can wear. And I go to like the
Right.
suit section and like what kind of blazers are there, what kind of jackets are there,
Yeah.
what can I grab that really stands out because one, we were talking about Indiana Jones, you'll have like this signature look at a certain point, people will
Right.
recognize like, oh, that's so cool. And then, people in your life will see you wear that. Same thing, like you can get your own iconic look and you can really elevate any t-shirt and jeans look with the right jacket over top. So
Yeah, dude.
huge jacket guy. And Robert Redford's one of the best inspirations for me.
Yeah, that's a really fantastic point. I think about that all the time. I've been doing the Just Like an Adventure Instagram reels,
Yeah.
which have been really fun. I just if you haven't seen them, I take a book and I dress or I build an outfit around being
So sick.
inspired by that book. So far, I've done Fire in the Tall Grass and Treasure is my trade, but I'm hoping to do it every week. So we'll see how long that can keep up.
I like it.
But all of that's to say, it's both really cool and also kind of like annoying that a outfit is not complete without the outerwear, dude. Because you can wear just like a turtleneck. If I was wearing a turtleneck and a nice pair of pants, it's like, oh man, that's a cool outfit. But then you gotta bring the next level up with some sort of sick jacket. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, I mean, your outfit right now. The jacket makes it
Thanks, dude.
so nice and brings it all together. The turtleneck
Yeah,
itself would be sick, but the jacket just
yeah,
really
exactly, dude.
drives it
And
home.
and that's the frustrating part about any time that's not the winter and fall and spring. You can always kind of work out like a light jacket for spring and fall, and
Hmm.
definitely you can wear anything you want in the winter. But dude, in the summer, I'm always
Yeah.
like, man, I need one more. I need one more piece here to really make this outfit work the way that I had it envisioned, and that's so tough because you're right, dude. The jacket ties everything together, and the layering. Don't even get me started on the layering. If you can throw like a like you said, he's got. I think he has like a chambray shirt, which is sort of like a jean shirt, denim shirt, but
He
it's a
wears that
little
a lot
thinner.
because in this picture here, he's got one.
Yeah, dude, he loves that. That's fantastic. And
So
with the
good.
sweater, and then you toss on the jacket over top, and that's
Dude,
cool because then you can break it down. You know, as the day goes on. Say you get hot, you lose the jacket, you still look sick. You get even hotter, you take off the
yeah.
sweater, you still look
Start
sick, dude.
unbuttoning, dude. Start
Yeah,
showing the old
exactly.
chesties.
You're golden.
You're
Um,
golden.
so yeah, dude, layering is such a great point to bring up because you can do so many different things. You know, it's
And
fantastic. And
yeah, to the point of
Redford was a
layering
master.
with Robert Redford too in mind, looking at his stuff, you'll see it's cool to see like and learning, and it's fun for me at least, probably fun for you too, but like understanding and learning what colors accent which colors and like what
Yeah, dude.
kind of looks cool together, what helps what pop, like what you got going on here, dude. That just looks nice together. Like it just
Thanks, man. I
to the
appreciate
eyeball
that.
is pleasing. There are certain combos that are not pleasing. You know what I mean? Where
Right.
you're like, don't put those together. Um,
Yeah.
but it's great. And to the layering point in summer, not to jump ahead too much, but dude, big
Yeah.
fan of the shacket. Like a
Yeah, dude.
this isn't
That's
even
a good one.
technically one, but like a thicker shirt that you can just kind of like open up as the jacket. It can
Yeah.
also be used in winter. A big winter look of mine is like this. So you do tank top,
Yeah, it looks sick.
shacket, button up the tank top, tuck it, or the this shirt up to where you can still see the tank, tuck it
Yeah.
in, and then put a jacket over top. So you're
Dude,
seeing
it's
jacket,
fantastic.
shacket, and tankies. And it's a good look. I've been
Yeah.
doing that for the winter. So I
Yeah,
guess that's
dude.
the last thing to say for that on my point. So if you want to go to the next, you can. If you have anything else you want to add, we'll keep
Well,
bouncing
just
out our way.
it made me think too of like you in the winter you can switch that tank with a Henley, you know, or
Yeah.
a long sleeve tee or something like that. Give yourself a little more warmth because that is going on a hike in the winter can be a daunting task because you could be in the snow and you could start out early in the morning and it could be like 25 degrees and then all of a sudden that sun's peeking over and baking you and then you're cooking, dude,
Yeah,
and
what
that's
do you
when you got
do?
to take the jacket off. But luckily you got the maybe you could even do a turtleneck under a button up. I remember my Uncle Pete is what we always called him. He was the guy who lived in Maine. He would always wear a big turtleneck and pull on. LL Bean has them. They're called the River Driver shirt, I believe, and they're
Sounds
a
sick.
Henley. Yeah, the inside of the Henley is cotton, and then on the outside, it's a really nice wool blend. And they're made that if they get wet, wool still keeps you warm, even if it's soaking wet. Like it doesn't lose
Sick.
its heat retention, which is really cool. So they were
Yeah.
made for the guys on the river to wear. And he would always put one of those on, and then he would put a flannel on top. And this dude was always fitted up. I loved it because he
Beautiful.
was he was in Maine, and I think Maine's fairly similar to Colorado. In Colorado, you're so high up that it can start out really, really low temperature. Like I remember in the winter, you could have it snow like a foot by 10 a.m. and then by noon it could be up to like 50 degrees because the sun's just cooking. So
Yeah.
if you're in the middle of like a long day hike, you have to have those layers to break down. The outerwear is important. The like lower layers closer to the skin are important too because all of those can like wick away sweat, keep you from getting too hot. I remember a Louis L'Amour story I read was like, dude, he was stranded out there in the snow and it was a survival tale. And he was like, I can't move too much because as soon as I start sweating, I'm cooked. Because as soon as I stop moving, that
It'd be
sweat
freezing.
is gonna freeze. Yeah, it's literally gonna freeze to me. So yeah,
Dude, I love that our minds both went to Louis because I was about to say a bonus is read Louis because of his descriptions of clothes, but also
Yeah.
Louis covers. Great place for styling inspo. If I
Yeah,
can
dude.
find this shirt that I have in mind, I'm copying a look exactly today from Bendigo Shafter. I'm
Nice, dude.
restarting Bendigo Shafter, and there's the guy on the cover is wearing a Henley, and he's got this thicker red jacket like rolled up. You see like the Henley poking it
Oh yeah, dude. I
from
love
under it,
that.
like the waffle shirt poking up from under it.
Yeah,
It's more of a waffle shirt. I don't think it's Henley, but either way, maybe it is. Who cares? It's an undershirt, like waffle shirt
right,
design, and then you
right.
got the red, thicker thing. And to your point, he probably has a jacket that he stripped off already because he's gonna be
Yeah,
working.
yeah.
And at a certain point, maybe he takes that off, and there is a secret tanky under there. The layering is where it's all
Dude,
about,
the
dude.
secret thing you never expected. Yeah, too good.
So bonus, Louis L'Amour stuff.
Fantastic stuff.
Obviously, gotta go
Yeah.
with Louis.
Oh yeah.
What do you have next?
Next for me, dude, keeping it on the fisherman style here with
Hmm.
Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which we've talked
Yeah,
about a little bit before, but I love that because it highlights one of my favorite companies. They're very expensive, but just go to their Instagram and look through that, and you're going to be inspired for years. It's Thomas Farthing of London. They did all of the costume design for that movie, and I remember seeing. I think Cavill's wearing. It's like a really cool, maybe camp collar is the right term, but it's a button up with two pockets, and it's blue, and he's wearing it with suspenders and the high rise trousers,
such a
and he's
good
got
look.
that sig stash just like you with the beard,
And
dude.
you, my guy.
Fantastic. I love it. So you have everybody's wearing all sorts of different stuff there. Alan Richton's got that really cool white short sleeve tank top. The I can't remember what his name is in the thing, but he's got the fisherman hat and the pipe, and I think he wears a sweater vest,
He's like
which
the Navy
I'm
SEAL guy, right? Who like swims
yeah
under. Okay.
yeah that guy,
Yeah,
the
he's
guy who
sick.
was getting his freaking nips electrocuted, dude. Crazy. And he wears a vest, dude. And this is what I wanted to talk about. We got these vests of different kind, and those are fantastic. I For Christmas I got two cardigan vests, so they're essentially like the cardigans that Mister Rogers would wear, but they're cut off
Hmm.
at the
He
arms.
jacked Mr. Rogers. Wear to the
Yeah, dude.
gym, dude. Is a cutoff.
Legendary stuff. But they're fantastic. That's what I was wearing one yesterday, and with me, I think I run a little hot temperature wise. So if I ever go anywhere, almost immediately, I'm like, I got to get rid of the outer layer. I got to get rid of the second layer. I'm down to just like shirt sleeves, just the t-shirt or whatever it is I'm wearing, the Henley, the dress shirt, whatever it is. And that can become kind of a predicament when you conceal carry all the time, which I try to do as much as possible. And if I'm there, especially with a shoulder holster, dude, you can't just have the shoulder holster out. Everybody's
Yeah,
gonna be
dude.
like,
Look
what's
like
this guy
a
doing?
detective, and you're like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Like it looks sick, but it's not concealed carry anymore.
It's
It's just
alarming to people.
yeah. It's startling at the very least. So that's where, like you were saying with the shacket, the cardigan vest is very similar, but it looks perfect with a shirt with a tie. It looks perfect with a t-shirt. It looks perfect with anything you wear it with. Stavros in Guns and Navarone wears one with a big turtleneck sweater. This guy, I was just actually looking at pictures of him. Yeah, dude, he's look at this. I love
Yeah,
it.
man.
It's fantastic with the Greek
That's a
fisherman
great
hat.
outfit.
He's got it's
Corduroy
just,
pants, right? Or something like that.
yeah, I think
Great,
so, dude.
great stuff.
Oh yeah, dude, corduroy pants. It's just
Another
yeah.
guy who has
Here's
that
the Henley
jean
here
color
the
shirt. That's a great color shirt.
yeah, dude. It is
Also, another one. Must be
fantastic.
one of the men's adventure fiction colors, dude. It's like a light denim color looking shirt. Doesn't
Yeah,
have to be
dude.
a denim shirt. Could
I
be
love
any
it.
kind.
Yeah, so I think they're all that chambray that I was talking about, and I tried to figure it
Yeah.
out because people love talking about those shirts, and your boy Robert Redford was super famous for kind of bringing them in.
Yeah.
And I think one of the Kennedy brothers as well, maybe I can't remember who. It's one of those
I know
guys is
JFK
super.
Jr. has some great style. Like my friend Caleb
Yeah,
loves looking at him
yeah,
for style inspiration.
yeah.
So might
So
be
those guys loved the chambray shirt, and I would see videos about it and be like, man, I've got a shirt that kind of looks like this, but I always just thought of it as like a denim shirt. But apparently, it is very similar. It's like a lighter denim almost, and it can and run from like rugged looking to actually like just a dress shirt. So pretty cool. I think every man should have one in their wardrobe, as we see from Cavill, from the guy with the pipe, dude. I love it. It's too fantastic.
Yeah, dude. Everybody should watch that movie. It is
They
because
should.
I, dude, I'll watch a movie for its style sometimes. Like I think of the movie That
Yeah,
Awkward Moment. Not a good movie, dude, but I love looking at the different styles that Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan, and Zac Efron have in that movie, and I'm like,
dude.
great outfits.
I've
What's up?
never seen this movie or heard of it,
It's
but
not good, but it's
but
it's
it's
got
the
some great
style. It's a good
fashion. It's
style.
got some great style in it, and
That's cool.
it was close to a good. It could have been a good movie, but
Yeah,
this is Guy Ritchie's so good because his movies are great and the style is always on point because he
yeah,
cares
dude.
so much about style, and he has
Yeah,
such a philosophy tied to it of like getting dressed twice in the morning. You know, where it's like you put on the clothes and you're putting on kind of the honor of what that means to be a well-dressed individual and to represent yourself well, and he puts that into his films, and it's like
yeah.
that's why every time you can turn on one of his movies and be getting some great outfit inspiration, and you get the bonus of wow, this is also the sickest action movie I've seen in years. So
Yeah,
that's
dude.
great, you know.
Dude, too fantastic. And another thing that he does really well, and well, let's camp here for a little bit, is something that I think is desperately missing from our world and from our men's style today is the tobacco aspect, dude. You gotta
Yeah,
bring the
dude,
heat with a
that's a great
pipe,
point.
a cigar. I've been really loving them. I have a tobacco tin from like old pipe tobacco, and I got these Toscanos cigars, which I think we talked about last week or the week before. But those are the ones that famously are supposed. They claim that they were the ones that Clint Eastwood was smoking. I don't think they actually were, but they're fire cured tobacco from Italy and from America. And the way that it happens is when they cure them, it causes them to no longer need a humidor. In fact, they're a little better the drier they are. And these guys are long and skinny. They're probably only like about that big around. But what you're supposed to do is you cut them in half and you smoke one now and have it for later, or smoke one with your friend, smoke one with yourself.
So sick.
Yeah, super cool. But they're the only cigars because you can get the cigarillos, but even those are supposed to be humidified. But these guys, dude, no humidification. So I just have a tobacco tin filled with like four or five of these, or
Yeah,
probably like two or three of them cut in half. So it's five, six, something like that. Just keep that as part of the EDC, dude. You're out there walking in the woods, pop that bad boy out, stick it in. You're puffing on a nice stogie. They taste fantastic. They have a nice like earthy flavor partnered with some of that natural tobacco sweetness that I absolutely love. Too stinking good. And then you can go to the pipe, dude. It's just like these are the things that immediately classify an outfit. There's this guy on Instagram called I think his name's Major Haywood, and he is an actor in England, but he's also like an old English gent. He's got a
yeah,
big bushy
that's
beard.
awesome.
Sometimes it's just the chops. He is always wearing tweeds, and he works in his garden in like a full suit.
It's
And it's like
fantastic.
like I said, you can wear these really sick outfits, and the guy's never not smoking a pipe, and it just adds that extra element of you see someone who's dressed well, and you're like, all right, you're either really cool or you're trying to be really cool. But then, dude, they drop that pipe in their mouth, and you're like, now you're either really cool or super pretentious. I'm not sure which one. And then
We'll
you start talking
find
to them,
out.
and you're like, you're the coolest guy ever. Because there are a lot of people who jump into the pipe smoking thing as like, oh, this is a prop, or I'm doing it to look cool, or try and impersonate somebody. But then there's the people who actually love some good tobacco, dude. Too good. I love it.
Yeah, it does tie the outfit
Fantastic.
together, like you said it yesterday when I was sending you that when we were Snapchatting. I had the cigar on me.
Yeah, dude. It was
It's like
perfect.
the outfit that never felt as complete as when the cigar was there. You know what I mean? It's like it was all right, it was all right. But if you throw the
Right.
cigar in there, it finally makes sense. It's all contextualized, and then you really
Yeah,
solidify
dude.
it. You know, it really
It's
brings it
perfect.
together. The guy, you remember Dry Creek Wrangler? That guy, Dwayne. Every
Oh
time you
yeah,
see
yeah.
that older cowboy guy, as soon as he throws the old cigar in there,
Uh-huh.
now everything's tied together, dude. Everything's
Yeah,
right with the
dude.
world.
It's perfect.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And especially if you get into like the pipe side of things, artisan pipes exist. That actually can
Yeah, dude.
become a fashion piece in and of itself. Like, and it's like, whoa, this is
Right.
really like art in and of itself.
I
Plus, you
know,
go back to what
dude.
we were saying about like colors that are
Right? Like good
complementary to
design
each
in
other.
general.
Yeah, and good
Yeah.
design. You know, some of those like cherry red, dark cherry red, or whatever you call it, like those
Yeah.
kind of colored pipes can make an outfit pop even more. It's sitting in there almost like a pocket square
Yeah,
for a
dude.
jacket. You know, it can really make things unique to you and super sick in a way that's
Right.
definitely more unique to you as like a pipes
Yeah.
or tobacco enthusiast.
I couldn't agree more. It really is like and that's the other thing too, is it adds a scent
Yeah,
compound.
component.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thanks, dude.
look at this. Together, we're gonna think of words.
The rest of the podcast, we have to try and say what the other
Each
guy.
word.
It's charades. Come on, dude. That one was easy. Uh, y- the scent component is added. It's fantastic, dude. I love it. It's just one of those things that can't really be put into words as much as it is. Like you said, dude. Every time I'm out, I don't always have an opportunity to smoke a pipe or a cigar, right? But if I'm going somewhere, we go to the Lancaster Central Market pretty often. We go walk around, go to coffee shops at different places, go to the park. I always am putting on my jacket, and I'm like, should I grab a pipe? And my first thought was like, nah, you're not gonna have a chance to smoke it. And then my second thought is, what if the chance presents itself?
Yeah,
I'm gonna be so pissed if I don't have some sort of thing to smoke. You know, like I would always carry a cigar cutter and a lighter because anywhere I went, on the off chance that some guy was like, "Hey, you want a cigar?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I do." And I got that cigar
you
cutter
just
ready
pull it
to
out.
go.
I'm ready to go.
I was prepared for that. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with the pipe, right? If I get to the park, nobody's around, I can send the girls off to go play. I can stick that pipe right into my mouth, start smoking. People roll up and they see me and they're like, "What the hell? This guy's smoking on the playground." But then they're like,
Hey,
"Wait a
get
minute,
out of here!
is that a pipe?" And then then you're in, dude. You're like, "Yeah, it definitely is a pipe. You want one?" and you're golden.
Yeah,
And you
man.
change the
Same.
world just that much. Sorry, you were saying?
Making it that much more men's adventure fiction. But I think the same concept applies to books, dude. I know this is something I've fallen away from,
Yeah,
but
dude.
throwing the old paperback in the back pocket's so good because
That is a great point.
even if you have that little few minutes of downtime, if you have the book on you, you can read more. You can get a few
Right.
pages in. And I've used to do that much more faithfully. I just haven't. I needed to get back into just like having the book in the back pocket because there's so much. There's been a few times recently where I'm like, oh, I'm just sitting here now. I have nothing to do. And it's like I'm probably gonna get on my phone because I've got nothing to do. If
Right.
I had my book, I could read that.
Right.
It's
And
definitely the
you
same
can,
concept applies. Be prepared. Bring it.
yeah, you can always try to convince yourself that you'll read on your phone, and it
Yeah, it's
never
not gonna
goes
work
well.
out, dude.
Even Substack, dude, it's so hard for me to read something. I'm like, all right, let me read this. Next thing you know, I'm scrolling.
Yeah,
I'm
you'll get a
off.
notification halfway through, and you'll be like, "What was that?" And
Yeah.
then you'll go over
And
there
the
and just
notifications
take it
these
away.
days, dude, they jump into the screen instead of just staying up at the top where
Yeah,
they should. That ain't right.
it ain't right.
I will have to. That's a really good idea to start incorporating more paperbacks into the EDC. That's
Yeah, man. Throw some
smart
thin
thinking from
little
this guy.
paperbacks in the back.
Yeah,
That's why we
dude.
make
I
our
know this
Veritas
one.
boys are always pocket ready, dude. They're pocket size. They can go right there in your back pocket.
Except for
No,
Crime's My Caper, though. I don't know. This one's a little thick for
well,
the.
you may
You
get
gotta
a spine realignment situation going on after you sit on it too long.
of both yourself and the book, dude.
But that's why you buy two copies, one for each butt cheek. Sit normal. It's totally
It's
fine.
also why you have the outerwear, dude. You can stick this guy in the. Or
Yes, dude. I put on a blazer that I hadn't worn in a while yesterday, and I was like, "What is that?" And then I pulled it out, and it was Hatari. It was like a novelization of that John Wayne movie, and I was like,
that's
"Let's go, dude!
fantastic.
This is
I love it, dude.
exactly what you need in your pockets."
You should start using like dollar bills or $5 bills as bookmarks too, and then you'll
Yeah, and
have
then you
both the
find
book
both.
and
Yeah.
some money. Fantastic stuff. All right, I think
Okay,
I think
who's
it's
your
you
next guy?
next, right?
There's
'Cause
me. Oh yeah.
yeah, I think so.
All
You
right.
were
So
trying
this
to
one,
sneak out of.
this
Not
one,
today, not today.
This one is called. It's the outfit, the film, The Outfit that came out in a year of time,
Recent
2022
though.
maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the Dylan O'Brien, even though he's not like the main character at all. It's the Dylan O'Brien movie.
Oh, nice.
If you notice it, he's in it, but it takes place in like a tailor's shop. Is that what you call that? Like a tailor
Yeah, dude.
place? A tailor.
That's what you call it.
It takes place there, and so fashion on display there is really, really top notch, high quality
Yeah,
artisan
dude.
stuff. Dudes stitching together suits, and like you see a lot of that
That's
happening.
crazy.
And so this one is definitely more of what we touched on in the Guns and Have Our Own conversation of the opposite effect, where it's like this is the high class, this is the time that we
Yeah.
would be Al Pacino in The Godfather. You know what I mean? Like this is the time we're
Right.
gonna really pull out all the stops and wear our nicest clothes. And when I watched that movie, dude, and it's got such that nice old school, old Hollywood feel of these really classy looking dudes with clean shaven faces and like their hair slicked and thick ties, thick lapels, and I'm just like, this feels right. And what I
Yeah.
noticed is like a style lesson from it that I took from it is for the winter too, especially. You talk about layers, there's nice jackets, there's everything we've talked about, but texture really stuck out to me here, especially because you're
That's a
seeing
good
the
one.
fabrics and him working with the fabrics. Yeah, dude, texture can really make a difference. If you're not a flashy guy, you're like you don't want, I don't want to put bright colors into my clothing, or I don't want to wear a
Uh-huh.
pocket square. Dude, the right textures just like make an outfit look more elevated and eloquent and
Yeah,
fancy than it
dude.
really is. It could be the most simple outfit, but if it's really textured looking wool pants that are like complex
Yeah.
looking and thick, you're like, oh, that looks awesome. And then you wear like a really complex, thick textured sweater with it. It's like, it just looks visually appealing. And so the knit ties, all these things that you see the artistry in them, and it just makes it feel less like it's like a print on demand Timu thing that just kind of like
Yeah.
came out. You know what I mean? It looks like real artisan clothing. That stuff is
Right.
huge. And this is where Goodwill and thrift shopping comes into play because I don't have the casholi to be burning on these
Yeah,
really
dude.
nice
Me
hand
neither.
stitched clothings. But I think that jacket that you have there was like an actual, like, it has like an assigned, like, military
Yeah.
thing from like World War II or something.
This Luke gave me this jacket back at Pole Fest. So
But it was a
it
thrift
does.
store find, and it has like the legit.
It
It's like
says Lieutenant Colonel VY, and then it kind of like disappears into the
stolen
fabric.
valor. Calling the cops right now. Just kidding. But it's so true. I mean, you can like that is the highest. Dude, think about how old that is, and it's the
Yeah, it's
highest
really cool.
quality stuff you could think of, and you can find this type of thing at a thrift store because people, they're just donating clothes. And but the
Right.
other day, my friend Caden again, he was giving me some clothes, and he was going through some of the stuff, and I was like, dude, you cannot give these to Goodwill, and you cannot give them to me because they were like made in Italy, super well tailored pants. And he was like, yeah, I just don't think they fit right. And I was like, well, dude, try again because
Yeah.
I think you're gonna regret
Make
giving
them
these.
fit.
You're gonna regret not giving, keeping these on you.
Yeah, dude.
He got them from a thrift store, and it's like that pair of pants. Like you've come across the same thing. You look it up; it is a high price that I'm not willing to pay.
Right.
You find it at a thrift store, it's like, dang, that was such a good find. And when it is that tailor-made type of thing, that artisan one, I looked at it how it looked. It was like, yeah, you can just tell, like this is not just like some weird nylon fabric or whatever. This is like
Right. Right.
something real. And I was like, yeah, take these back. So he did. He still has them. He's going to give them another shot. But
Nice work, dude.
and if not, he has to give them to me because you can't just give that back up, dude. That's too good of a find. You don't just throw that back in the wild. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, all that to say, layering and texturing together, like the
Texture
textures
is
matter so much.
fantastic. Yeah.
But I do understand they're expensive, and that's why we thrift instead of go try to
Right.
buy this right off the rack.
Right. There's this thing. This is actually a pretty cool time to be doing this episode. I don't think it'll get any traction from it, but this past week was this thing called Pity Omo, I believe is how it's said. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it
Eddie
happens
Elmo.
in. I think it happens in Milan and Florence in Italy, and it happens twice a year. So one is in the winter, and the other I think is maybe like summer, sometime in July or August or something like that. Maybe right when summer and fall are switching.
So they can show off
Or,
those two different types of clothing, probably.
yeah,
It was a totally
probably.
different world
Um,
here in the summer
and
clothing.
Dude, it's exactly what you said. You'll see some of those things, and you have people wearing like the really nice textured wool pants with a more like reserved jacket to so that the styles aren't clashing too much.
Right.
You'll see Western wear. You'll see all this different stuff, and something to touch on is like those big overcoats, the great coats, dude. The anything like that, your trench coats, even
Yeah.
fantastic little piece to add because you
And you
can
get
have.
that in the outfit, that film, dude. Amazing, like Mafia 2 style trench
I love
coats.
it, dude. I
You
love it.
know,
It's
beautiful.
so stinking cool. I was lucky. When my grandfather on my dad's side passed away, he was a bit of a sartorialist, so I got this
Great work.
fantastic big overcoat. I think it's technically a great coat. It's double breasted. It's got these big peak lapels. Love it.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite jackets. It's to the disdain of almost all other jackets. I always feel like I have to wear it because you get to, like I said, I run hot, so the opportunity I have to wear big jackets in public is so few and far between that I'm always like, all right, I gotta wear the big guy. It's just too stinking cool.
yeah, I know,
So
especially in winter, you got to repeat it. You got to wear it as much
yeah,
as
dude,
possible.
you gotta, and then you realize you've been like neglecting the pea coat or the car coats are kind of like a half overcoat. They go probably to like mid thigh. Those are really cool too. I have one of those. It's like, damn it, I just got too many cool
Safari
clothes I gotta
jacket,
wear.
dude.
Yeah, dude, the safari jacket. That one
Beautiful.
is nice. It's a little lighter weight, so you could wear that
More of
any
a
time of
spring
year.
guy. Ooh, summer guy.
Spring, fall, winter, anytime, dude. I have worn it in the
Beautiful.
summer. I love it. It's too cool. But I think what you were talking about with the texture, super important. I remember going to a wedding, and I you get to weddings and you see everybody, and everybody looks really good in their suits, and you're like, man, they look fantastic. I hope I look half as good as they do. But that's where you can start factoring in things that they're not necessarily doing. Most of the time, your average guy is going to have a very basic suit. It'll be blue or
Hmm.
black or gray or something like that. Very few people are going to have a slight pattern to their suit. I was super lucky. The first suit that I ever got from like a more expensive men's warehouse type of guy, which by no means is the best suit of all time or anything like that. It's a black suit, but it has kind of like a charcoal gray plaid worked throughout. It's super subtle, but it's little details like that. Like the longer you look at it, the more you're like, man, that's really cool. And
Right.
then I wore a white shirt because I love me a white shirt. And then instead of going with a basic tie, I did that knit tie that you were talking about. Because anytime you can slip in a little added texture, it's the same thing like toss on cufflinks. If you get a French cuff shirt where you can have the cufflinks because that'll be just one more thing that makes your outfit a little more interesting, and
Yeah.
working all those things together with the texture, the subtle patterns, the knit tie, dude, it pulls you out of kind of like the basic corporate America looking guy, throw on one of my favorite guys, Gerardo Calvieri, or however you say his name, sartorial
Is that the guy who looks like he
Giolitas.
could be your dad? That the guy
Yeah,
who
dude.
looks kind of just like you?
Fantastic.
That guy's
I
sick.
love that guy is so cool. And he's always smoking a cigarette, dude. That's one of
That
his
guy's the coolest dude.
classic, yeah, classic cigarettes, no matter how much they kill you, just look so freaking sick,
They
dude.
look
It's
very cool. We can't
and
deny
that's
it,
the
dude.
thing too, is
They
that
look
half
very
the
cool.
time though, the most uncool people are smoking cigarettes, and all you can think is like, dude, you just addicted. You can't get away from it. But then you see
Yeah, it's not the
somebody like
same.
Gerardo, and
Cool,
you're like,
dude.
bro, this guy is sick. I bet in the summer he wears like a t-shirt and he puts the cigarette pack in the rolled up sleeve, and he just looks too cool. Um, so super cool dude. But there's one really awesome photo I have of him where he's wearing a fantastic suit, a bigger kind of fuller tie that's it's some sort of silk, but it's a little like more flowy. And then he's got on a red vest that's like a flannel
Oh,
esque material,
nice.
and it looks fantastic. So it's stuff like
Yeah.
that you can just slip in that really knocks you into a different level, and shows that you have a better understanding of like accent pieces and style pieces. And like you were saying, that all kind of stems from going with cool textures and cool colors and mixing
Yeah,
and
man.
matching stuff.
Like good texture and high quality materials can definitely
Yeah, dude.
help elevate you without having, if you want to be a super subtle guy, like you mentioned in
Right.
your outfit of like a plain white shirt and tie and stuff, like stuff that if you did it with just everything easy off the rack from like the quickest thing you could grab from Macy's, it'll look like you said, just corporate America. Like that's any middle
Right.
management guy. That's whatever.
Right.
But if you selected stuff, like if you took your time getting these things at thrift stores, like a really nice
Yeah,
knit
dude.
tie and like a high quality button down shirt, it'll just those two things alone will make you then look like Sean Connery from
Right.
freaking Doctor No or something, you know?
Yeah, dude. And that's a great point. When you're, because that's, you can go to the thrift store and you can get a bunch of terrible stuff. But if you're patient and you look and you take your time and you're okay walking out of there
Not
with
getting
like one
anything, yeah.
thing, yeah, look at the tags. Look for cotton, wool, linen. Look for stuff that's actually like good material. Every suit I think has a little like almost it's like an Irish knot type of thing, and it says 100% wool if it's 100% wool for the most part, because
Hmm.
people love to point that out because in today's day and age that sets you above the rest. So it's cool. Look for those things. Take your time.
Absolutely, dude. And I should have mentioned this when I was talking about Robert Redford, but to show you how much style makes a difference and can elevate, my son was watching me watch a Robert Redford movie the other day. Like he saw me watching it
Hmm.
and was looking at him in his tweed suit and his tie, and he was like, "It's Mr. Bean." I was like, "That is not Mr. Bean, but that is the
You're
same
funny.
type of suit." Nice
Yeah.
call, but it's like, dude, you can elevate yourself from Mr. Bean to Robert Redford in my son's eyes just with the
Dude.
texture of your suit, dude.
Yeah, that's a really great point you bring too, is like how you wear stuff matters. Like when you started talking about kids, it made me think of Luell watching the Weak Man Dr. Veritas ad, where
Yeah.
literally for the longest time, I think I said it on the podcast before, I was wearing the exact same clothes. I was wearing a safari shirt with the khaki field jacket blazer thing. I just had the one buttoned up all the way to
Mhm.
the top and hunched myself, and she didn't know it was me. I was wearing a pair of
Right.
glasses and she was like, that
Kids are
weird
super
guy
truthful and revealing in that way, dude.
that weird guy turns into my dad by the end of this, which is sick. It just shows how I wear my clothes. Is I wear my clothes with the buttoned up shirts unbuttoned most of the way.
And with
I
confidence, dude, you're not slouched. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like you're feeling fully
I
in
don't
it.
wear glasses. And it literally was one of the greatest compliments ever, where she's like, "Yeah,
It
that
is.
that weak guy, that weird guy turns into my dad. It's great." And it's like,
Yeah.
yes, dude, I love to be the cool guy instead of the dweeby guy. So
Right.
it's like you said. I mean, I bought one of the soon to come out dressed like an adventurer videos. I have this one shirt and it's probably a size and a half too big for me. And if you just wear that the without tucking it in, without working on it at all, you look terrible. I look absolutely horrible. But tuck that in, unbutton it a little bit, roll the sleeves, you then become like it becomes pirate-esque, like it has
That's
that
really cool.
flowy vibes. It's fantastic. So I think that's like you said, it's really important to wear your clothes well, so you're not the Mr. Bean and you're the Robert Redford and the oh, too good, too
It's
good.
too funny, dude. All right, what's your next one? Where are we going next?
This one's tough, dude. I have kind of two things in mind. I'll go with the first one because I think it really does lock into the winter time. The other one could be any time of year, but I'm gonna go with the 1920s to 1950s kind of hobo aesthetic. We talked about Louis L'Amour a
Nice,
little
dude.
bit. We'll camp there with him. I think all the time of the Mucker from Edgar Rice Burroughs, the Yondering stories of Louis L'Amour,
Yep.
where they were homeless, but they were in Education of a Wandering Man. He goes into kind of in depth about how before the Great Depression, there were three classes. There was your hobo, your tramp, and your bum. And the hobo was a guy who was basically a migrant worker. He was interested in adventure. He was interested in moving place to place, and he would go up and start up. I think it's called the wheat belt at the top of the wheat belt, and work his way down as he had to, as the wheat was getting harvested. And he would do that. He would go find other jobs. He even said at certain points the trains would open up because hobos are known for having to sneak away from the bulls and stuff like that and avoid the train police. But there was a point in time where those guys would open up the trains and be like, hey, yeah, hop on. We know we need to get you guys over to Indiana because we're not going to be able to get everything harvested if it's not for you guys. And then you have that turn in. So the tramp was someone who would go place to place and not work, and a bum was someone who wouldn't work at all but stayed in one place. So those were the three tiers. Hobo was actually like a really important part of society
Yeah,
at one
it
point.
really helped like move, like get these essential jobs done when
Yeah, dude.
you know they needed to be done in a timely manner, and you had people
It's too cool.
drifting in like cowboys to the town
Yeah,
with no name, ready to just do
exactly.
your business.
Yeah, it's too sick. And then when the depression hit, all of that kind of shifted, and those hobos were forced to become tramps because when they went to the place they would normally have work, there was no work.
No
But
work, right?
this gets back to kind of a, you look back at those times, and that's where this idealized version of homelessness kind of came from, because all of those guys back in the day, there really was no other clothes other than kind of like fancy clothes. The worst
Or you
dressed
go to a
people back
baseball
then.
game and they were freaking 3-piece suited up.
Exactly, dude. The low, like kind of low rent casual look was a cardigan with your shirt and tie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And you just took off the suit and tossed on the cardigan. So we have this. It's interesting because you look back in time, you're like, man, everybody was just better dressed then, and it's because there were no options. You know, there was probably people who were schlubbing it, wearing their suits, and everybody was like, dude, you look like a mess. Dress better, you know, or they were unshaven, stuff like that.
think about how James Dean freaked people out with a T-shirt.
Yeah,
They were
dude.
like, well, you
T-shirt.
can't do that.
I know, too funny. I've heard a whole history about that because that was a standard issue for all of the men in the military. So after World War II, that kind of became more popular because the men
Nice.
came back and they were like, I was used to wearing a uniform. I got to keep one aspect of it, and it would be that white T-shirt, dude.
That's
So
sick.
that's where it picked up.
My man knows
Which
stuff, huh?
just a little. That's where white T-shirts are classic for a reason. So we'll talk about those in a summer episode or something. But all of this is to say, I remember one time we're sitting around a fire in Colorado, and I found absolutely fantastic find, dude. It was a full wool with the flannel lining, LL Bean jacket, like
Ooh, that is a nice find, dude.
yeah,
Wow.
epic. I'm wearing that. I think I had on like a turtleneck sweater or something, and they were like, Nate, you always look sharp, but you also always look like a 1940s hobo. And I was like, it's working, boys.
Great compliment.
Yeah. And then another time we were at like a dive bar playing darts. Right before we went to play trivia at another bar, and I rolled up, and I was wearing like a fisherman sweater and my big pea coat, and they're like, dude, when are you leaving for the ocean? like when are you shipping out for sailing? And I was like, I'm just dressed like. So I think that there is a very clear, like when you say 1920s to 1950s hobo, you envision something perfectly, and I think that's one of my favorite aesthetics. It's fantastic.
It is, dude. And you brought up Louis L'Amour and Education of a Wandering Man and
Yeah, dude.
Yondering just last night. And again, back to the whole like you can copy outfits right off of Louis L'Amour covers. Last night I was sending my friend Jim the cover for this Yondering that I picked up, and it's like, look at that drifter hobo
It's so
outfit, dude. He's
sick.
got his bag with him. He's got his Indiana Jones jacket because he's obviously cosplaying
That's
as Indy.
fantastic.
He's
Right.
got the button up, like a black shirt under it, and some
That's
rough
awesome,
and
dude.
tumble jeans. It's like, dude, what an outfit. And yeah, it's a great point again to kind of blend the worlds of I can be working class, I can be ready to be in the world and in the wild, but also have high standards for myself of like my hair is still nice and I'm
Yeah.
wearing neat, like clean clothing rather than just like letting it rip to tatters and stuff like that. And like being
Right.
that kind of drifter hobo guy, it's like these guys really did comport themselves with a lot of self-respect, and it
Yeah,
showed in
dude.
their clothing, and they kept themselves upright. And same thing goes for us. Like we can, like you said, schlub off and make our suits look way worse than they ought to be. Like
Right.
they're wrinkled and dirty, and you could have the nicest clothes in the world, but dude, if you're not taking care of it and you're not presenting yourself well and with self-respect, and it just looks terrible. It just
Yeah,
doesn't look
dude.
good. It looks like you're in a noir film and you're falling apart at the seams, dude.
Yeah, for real. I think this is the hobo kind of aesthetic is where you can lean into dressing stuff up and dressing stuff down. You can wear a full suit with like a Henley or a t-shirt, you know. You can wear a button up with a tie with like just a leather jacket or something like that, something completely random, you know. You can
Yeah,
really kind of mix and match stuff, and
it's a
it
great point.
adds to that kind of like almost thrown together. There's this term that we've been dancing around this whole time, but it's an Italian term for it's called sprezzatura, which is essentially like practiced carelessness, where your
This is
clothes
just
don't.
this is the smartest episode of Nathaniel I've ever seen. You know so many great words this episode, dude. I'm like
Thanks,
gonna
dude. I
take a
appreciate
vocabulary going.
that. Vocabulistics, so to speak. Um, and it's the idea of like when you look at a guy who knows how to dress well, you're never like you worked really hard to look like you dressed well. You're always like you look comfortable and
Yeah,
you're
natural.
looking good, yeah, the way that you're meant to be. And that's I think the sprezzatura thing, which it adds the textures that we were talking about earlier. It adds switching things up. It adds like tossing a bandana on or putting a tie with a cardigan vest or just random stuff, you know, like it adds bringing all this stuff together. And I think, dude, the hobos were the founders of sprezzatura
You
because
had people
those
living
dudes
out of
were
a
just,
backpack for real, dude. And they're like, well, when I got in here, I'm gonna wear that. And
and they
then I
were
got the
always
suit
fitted up.
jacket. Yeah,
It's
man.
too good.
That's a
Yeah,
great point. And it is a good thing to try every once in a while of the mixing the worlds. Like again, I mentioned this earlier, like when I came from thinking of like the classier, preppier style, and then I was like, how
yeah,
do you mix more of like the what I really like when I watch westerns? I'm like, those guys also dress sick. How do you mix those? Like
right, dude.
wearing my cowboy boots with dress pants and like a Henley or
Yeah.
something like it throws some people off for sure. I've definitely gotten like what and like some up and downs where people are like wait because I'll wear
Who are
like
you?
military boots and then like dress pants to work and they're like what
Yeah,
is that?
dude.
But it's
You got to
just
do
it's
it.
so nice to mix the styles, dude. And it sometimes just pays off. Sometimes it
It
doesn't, but
is.
sometimes it pays off, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it is the true adventurer style. I think it's like there's certain times where I put something on and I'm like, this looks like a foreign war correspondent outfit, you know, which it is like it's
Say
part
Sean
business.
Penn in that one
Yeah.
movie.
It's part like professional businessman mixed
Uh-huh.
with the ruggedness that comes from adventure. It's like you said, wear a pair of combat boots with your dress pants, you know, like it's what the people really need,
It's
dude.
what the
They just
people
don't
want, dude.
they
They
just
don't
don't
know
know
it
it.
yet.
Oh, too good. I think that was my last one, right? Which brings us to your
Yeah.
last one.
This brings us to the last one, which this one
Dude.
shouldn't take too long, but I wanted to bring this guy up because he is the working class hero, dude. He is the
Yeah,
guy
dude.
who's like, well, it's not, what if I don't want to be so identified with style and fashion? What if I'm a normal dude, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Rocky Balboa. I present you with
Dude,
him, dude,
love it.
because even back in his poor days, right, when he had no money,
Right.
had nothing going for him, in that first film, you got the black jeans. He's got like a gray sweater thing going on, like a gray
Mm-hmm.
just crew neck sweater, and then he wears the leather jacket over top of it.
Yeah,
He's got
dude.
the fedora, he's got the gloves, like he's just got a nice,
Yeah,
simple
it's
look,
sick.
but it's so clean, it's so nice looking. And then you obviously can like look at the third film. He's got the craziest three-piece suits, and he looks awesome, and he's got pinstripe.
Yeah,
Let's
dude.
ignore that for this conversation. For this conversation, I want to bring out that he does just seem to have like someone's dad who's not interested in fashion. That's the guy to look for. Rocky Four, you
Yeah.
have him training in the coolest outerwear
Dude,
outfit
the
in
coolest outfit
men's
ever.
ad- men's adventure fiction history, where he's got like you probably know the word. What is that kind of jacket? It's like leather with
It's
fur.
like
Like, do they have a name for that?
Sherpa lined, maybe. I
Okay,
don't
like a
know.
Sherpa lined leather
Something
jacket.
like that. Yeah, dude.
Look up the
So
Rocky Four jacket. He's got
it's
the
like a
rugged,
bomber jacket, kind of.
yeah, and he's
Yeah.
got the facial hair with it and the rolled beanie.
Dude,
And dude, when
this
he strips
outfit
that
is
down,
only ever rivaled by you running in that sick leather jacket,
the
dude. I
indie
love seeing
jacket,
that.
like,
Yeah, that's
uh,
fantastic. In the snow. Sorry, he strips it down.
when he strips it down, dude, he's got the Henley. He's got like a tight, freaking white Henley
Yeah,
going on.
dude.
And
Love it.
yeah, Stallone in the Rocky franchise, I think is just a great example of your everyday, not too boisterous, not too like, wow, that guy loves fashion. It's just very
Right?
subtle. Like this guy dresses well, and he
Yeah.
knows what he's doing. Rocky Five when he's like the dad. You know, he's got the turtlenecks and
Uh
with the leather jackets, and me talking about Christmas and trying to hype his son up. I'm like, get away from me. But
Yeah, dude,
it's
that's
just
awesome.
a great casual, nonchalant way to dress well if you're not overly into fashion,
Yeah,
like your boys here, which we love. The higher fashion I can get, the more fun it is. You know.
right, dude. The personal style is just so important, and it adds so much. But I think that that's a really good point too. Is like there's times where it calls to be like clearly the best dressed person in any room, right? But then there's other times where it's important to remain under the radar, like Rocky does, you know, or like any of the characters we love in men's adventure fiction who are kind of going a little incognito. And I think that that's the thing is like, yeah, dress a little more like reserved, but still dress well. You know, don't
Hmm.
look like terrible. You can still look good doing the basics or doing something a little more subtle. You know, so I think that's a really good point to bring Rocky up to kind of close this out. Is it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, bring a sick fit, but it doesn't have to be flashy. You know,
Right.
I
Just
love.
being authentic to who you are is a massive part of style and fashion. You know, if you're
Yeah,
dressed,
for sure.
that's why it didn't look so good in high school when I'm wearing a suit because it's like I didn't earn the right to wear that at all. I It's not what.
Yeah,
Why would I be wearing that? You know what I mean? It doesn't fit.
right.
It
Who
doesn't
am I?
fit the person. It doesn't fit who I am
Yeah,
at the
dude.
time. So you have to really be making sure that you are in line with who you are. And that's why I bring up Rocky. Is like some people don't like style as much as us, and that's totally fine. But they obviously don't want to. Doesn't mean like, oh, I want to dress like crap and I need to look terrible. Like you still want to look
Yeah,
good and presentable, and
yeah,
it
dude.
is. It's this first impression of the eyeballs that matters so much. Like you're a walking resume for yourself in a lot of ways with your
Right,
clothing.
dude.
People are gonna make assumptions and be like, oh, he's that kind of way or this kind of way. So like, it's important to
Yeah.
take care of yourself. But I do think it's most important that what you're wearing and what you choose to wear is coming from a place of like what's actually within you rather than being
Right.
like, oh, I guess I have to be stylish, so I have to wear this. And it's like, no,
Right.
wear what feels right for you, man. And
Right, dude.
being simple and clean with it is it's no problem, dude. You look fantastic, you know,
Like the hobos, dude. Those guys will
just like
wear
the hobos. Authentic, dude.
authentic, dude. Worn, lived in clothes. And I do think the if you can get yourself the training jacket from Rocky Four, dude,
Yeah.
definitely do that. That's authentic to
You'll
every man.
increase muscle by 50%.
At least. Yeah, this was a
Fun
fun
episode. Yeah.
conversation.
Very fun.
We've got the section in the Discord called Dress Like an Adventurer. I got the YouTube or the Instagram series running, so check it out. If you have any questions about this sort of stuff too, definitely reach out to Luke or I. We love talking about this. Love pointing
Absolutely.
people in the right direction for this sort of thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. Get some fashion advice from Nathaniel. Go watch some of those videos. That's what I'll be doing today.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. But let's do a little breakdown here on writing stuff. We're on the eve of a Noah Redford 2 coming out, Odyssey of
Oh yeah.
Fire. How you feeling, dude? Feeling pretty
Feeling
good?
good. Yeah, I'm excited to, be done with it and have it out to the world and have people be able to read it. And
'Cause that one's
yeah, I
got
hope,
some
hope people like it.
hobo aesthetics,
It
dude.
does have some hobo action going on, dude,
I
and some
love it.
tramp steamer kind of action going on
Oh
here.
yeah, dude.
Definitely
Fantastic.
try, the wandering vibe, the yondering vibe, I mean.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
I think
I
people are
could.
gonna love it. To what you said earlier. You said I hope they like
Right,
it. I
that's
think
my
they
thing. Is
will.
I'm like I'm so unsure of what the reception will be, but again, kind of the same concept with I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. I wanted to write what I was gonna write, and this is a different type of adventure than Fire in the Tall Grass. But I love it, have fun with it. It helped me explore Noah Redford as a character,
Yeah,
his
dude.
mentality, his psychology, much more. So it's just gonna enrich my further adventures with the guy, where I'll understand him a
I'm
bit more and where he
excited.
comes from. So I'm really hyped for people to get it. And what about you? You got some writing projects coming in you
Yeah,
got a lot of like, writing projects this year. So what's been on your
26 will
mind
be a
right
busy
now?
year for us. I think just battening down the hatches, finishing stuff up with. We have some pretty big releases coming for
Yeah,
Veritas. You got the triple threat of Terrence, Jeff, and Luke all coming out in about a month and a half's time span. So very
right.
exciting. We got a sequel to The Killers from Yellow Rock, and Terrence is bringing. He did the release of the name a couple weeks ago. So Thorn, which is a swashbuckling adventure set, I think in the 1400s. Fantastic.
Very good, dude. It's
And
such a great character.
yeah, Odyssey of Fire too. It's a great time to be reading men's adventure fiction. So I've been focusing a lot on those, but I'm also working on the next Nate Colt story,
Right.
little shorter guy for something exciting coming out in April. I think it's just a good time to be writing. It's a lot of little bit of writing, a little bit of editing, and then a little bit of like reworking some stuff that I've already written. So I've been having a good time. I really enjoy it. It's fun to do.
Yeah. Dude,
So
it's like you said, a good time to be reading this stuff and a good time to be writing
yeah,
this
dude.
stuff because I don't like winter at this point in the year, like where it's like been past Christmas and I'm ready for it to be
Yeah,
spring. But what keeps you going, dude, is the old notebook out in the wilderness,
right,
jotting
dude.
story ideas down and reading men's adventure fiction. It gives good ammunition to keep me moving on this
Yeah, dude,
perilous
for
journey
sure.
through the rest of winter.
Yeah. Um, I am a big winter guy, so I'm hoping to get out there now that Christmas is gone, so work's significantly less busy, and we are in kind of a slight lull. I don't have any pressing things that I have to release
Yeah,
right away, so I'm hoping to get out there for some nice trekking through the woods,
you have
put
to get
some of
out
these
there.
outfits we talked about to good use
Good
in the
use, man.
wilderness, dude.
That's right.
So, pretty
Nothing more
excited.
detrimental than putting a sick outfit on just to sit inside and do nothing, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Nothing more
gotta
detrimental than that.
gotta bring the heat. I think for your sanity's sake, we're gonna skip the 52 weeks of
Well, I
sci-fi
want to bring something
today.
up about that. I
Okay.
decided when looking at options so far, I definitely want to start with Starship Troopers, and
Okay.
I
Cool.
do like that concept. And I just need to pick up a copy, I guess, and
Right.
start
Right.
reading it. I haven't gotten that far yet, but I do like. I think we can camp there at that one being
There we go,
potential
dude.
because I really like how it sounds. It seems really like up my alley. I really like that it seems like the book is trying to say something too. I love when a book, even if I
Yeah.
don't agree with what it's saying, I don't know what it says, but I like when books have something to say and the author like cares to say something and does it in a tactful way. If you're just telling
Right.
me, beat me over the head with an idea, don't really like that. But I'm
Yeah.
excited that it sounds like this has meaning and message that's, below the surface. So
Cool.
I'm gonna give that one a shot. That's gonna be the
All
one.
right. There we go. 52 weeks of sci-fi pauses on week 3 because we have a
We
winner.
have interest. We have
We'll see.
interest.
That's all we needed. We needed to just get to one to pick. So officially ends at 3. Let's see.
Perfect.
We'll
Let's
pick
see what I
up
like.
once we. I'll pick up a copy too, and we can read through it and maybe
Okay.
do an episode on it eventually.
That'd be fun.
But if you get like 2 or 3 chapters in and you hate it,
We're back at it, dude. We're
we're starting
resuming.
up again. So keep those sci-fi recs in your pocket. We need them. um, but too much fun, dude. Always a blast being on here with you.
Yeah, man, always a pleasure being with you. Thanks for teaching me many new words. I'm gonna have to re-listen to this episode with a pen and papes with me so I can get these words written down.
Yeah, I I think to round out the conversation on style though, we're not we never want you guys thinking like, oh, you dress like a dweeb. You can't watch the Men's Adventure Fiction podcast. To the point that we've talked about before, everything that you can do, like clothing wise, working out, training for martial arts, for gun manipulations, whatever it could be, it can all. It's the heart of the Men's Adventure Fiction podcast is we have all these characters that we love. I mean, we just talked about 6 different characters or
Yeah,
archetypes that are inspiring and aspirational because everybody wants to end up being a homeless guy trapped on the freight train, that can make us better men. And a really big aspect of that is dressing well. So that's where it is. It's just keep fighting to become the man you want to be, and that's what men's adventure fiction is really all about at the end of the
well
day.
said, dude. Well said. You definitely
Thanks,
get
brother.
much more out of men's adventure fiction and dressing well than you might think on the surface. So give
Yeah,
it a
dude.
shot. Dude. Give it a shot.
Gotta gotta make it work. And the ultimate men's adventure fiction accessory for
Dude, that is it.
Your fits is the water skin, dude.
Strap it
Gotta
over my
rock that
back,
bad
dude.
boy. It's genius. All right. Thank you guys for joining in on another week of the Men's Adventure Fiction Podcast.
Take care, guys.
See ya.
You're looking good, dude.
Welcome back. You bastard.